Welcome to part 2. If you didn't catch part 1, go back a step, but let's finish up this ranuncula. I'm gonna push in all the rest of them. So I already did the rest here. It does take a little bit of time, but be patient. This is the fun of it. You get to sit and make flowers all day. Okay, so we're gonna grab our felt flower center. We're gonna start with our green petals. In a ranuncula, a lot of them have that bright green center, and then it just kind of fans out with color. This would be a great flower to add different colors. It would be a great flower to add different coloring techniques, and lots of fun and variety that you can do with this flower. Okay, so for your first petal, come on little guy, there you go. We're only gonna glue half of it. So this is your bottom, this is your top. We're doing half from the top to the bottom. I'm gonna glue that part. And that we're gonna stick right on our felt ball. Since it's the first petal, it doesn't matter where you put it on the ball, because it's the ball. So this is your flappy side. Let's turn it that way. Flappy side, glued side. So when we take our next petal, we're gonna take the bottom down. We're actually gonna glue it on the already glued side. The flappy side is still out and flappy. Okay, so this time we're gonna put glue all the way around the circle. Go ahead and glue it there. And we're basically making a square right in the middle. So if we layer this one on and then layer the next one on, it's gonna make a little square shape. So we're gonna do it again. And we're overlapping as we go. Just like so. Okay, so for this last one, we're actually gonna lift up this flap because we want it to land inside the flap. That when we fold this over, each side is constantly overlapping. So we're gonna hold that open with one hand. Throw some glue on. Whoops, throwing things now. And throw that down. Now to finish it, we're gonna have our open flap, put a little glue on it, and put it right over it. So that's your center. Now we're gonna get our half pieces, and we're gonna put them and lay them down right on top. So they're gonna go here. The reason I cut them in half is it just eliminates bulk. You could use full circles, but I like to make less bulk on there. So we're gonna put that right. So whenever putting on flowers over top, there's a seam right here, and you wanna cut the seam right in half because we're layering right over that. So we're gonna grab another one. We're gonna cut this seam right in half now and put that right over it. And push those out of the way and keep going around. Cutting the seam, throwing it on. Okay, last one. Do it again. So that's your center, or it's the beginning of your center. Okay, now we're gonna take our 6 small petals that we've coned up already. We're gonna cut our center for the very first one, but then we're gonna layer it around. So we're gonna apply glue right at that bottom edge, so just right here, right in that base of that cone where you kind of overlapped it, and just layer it right on top there. Right there. And then now we're gonna take our next petal, put the glue in the same spot, and then we're gonna overlap this next one, overlap about halfway on this petal and put it right next to it. And then we're gonna do that all the way around. So we're gonna take the next one, overlap it about half, and keep going all the way around. I'm just continuing to go around my flower. And then for my last one, just make sure it reaches all the way and connects them. right here. Okay. Just kind of smushing it together to make sure that they're all adhered well. All right, so now we're gonna get our 30 petals. So the same thing we did with our little petals, we're gonna do with our big petals. So we're gonna start and just kind of layering them. So this little cup, it's almost like a little seat. So we have a little seat right here that our flower is just gonna sit right in. So it's gonna kind of look like this. So we're gonna throw on, at this point it doesn't really matter. I like to cut the petals seams in half for the first layer, but it all blends in. So we're gonna put glue on the little seat and start moving back around. I'm not cutting these ones in half. I'm going covering about a 1/4 inch over for each petal. And we're just gonna keep going in a circle. All right, so we're gonna keep going in a circle. We're gonna put glue on the little cone seat on the bottom and just keep going around. So at this point, we're almost close to wrapping around and we're just gonna keep going. Kind of like in a spiral fashion. I'm just kind of like gonna keep going. So this part is gonna take just a minute. It's, you know, getting through 30 petals and that's what I love about this flower too. Let me get more glue, and it is pretty simple. So as I go, maybe like 3 layers in, I like to start lowering the petals to make them not so flush, the same height. I like to start bringing them down and then they start fanning out a little bit. So do about 2 full layers at the same height. And so 1 more petal and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. So that makes about 2 full layers. And this is the fun part too, is that when you're making this flower, if you want to make smaller versions of it, so like stop here or stop here, you can easily make it a little bud coming off the side of the flower. And just make it a little smaller. Okay, so this is a few layers, 2 layers basically, or 2 times around the flower. So now we're gonna start lowering it. So this is all pretty much like the same level here. Where did I stop? And now I'm gonna kind of lower it. You see, it's not quite as high as these ones, and just start lowering it a little bit lower to make them a little bit more organic feeling. And I kind of just keep doing that for the rest, just kind of keep putting them lower and lower. And I should say like each row goes a little bit lower, or time around the circumference. And then we keep going around the circle. This is that repetitive motion that we're just gonna keep doing for a while. Almost done. So I'm also holding it with my thumb right on that center and 2 fingers on the bottom, just to have a lot of control over the flower. It's not flopping around. I'm using these 2 fingers to hold on my new petal. I'm using these 2 fingers to hold my next petal. So it's kind of a lot to juggle, but do whatever you feel is comfortable. If you need to put the flower down every time, then do it in order to glue your petals, not a problem. We're just getting through this quickly because it's 30 petals plus the 12 on the inside. No, 16 on the inside. All right, this is our last one. So now, because it's our last one, I'm just gonna like hold that back real good. Since we went a little fast, I just wanna make sure all that glue dries well and this thing's not coming apart. I'm just really pushing down on it. So after I push down on it, this is kind of the fun part about this flower, is that you can bunch it in and really close it. So this is like now a closed, more closed bunched flower, or you can sit there and spread it out and open it up. And that's one of the reasons why I love felt. It's very easy to manipulate, it's very easy to move around, and it kind of gives you, see now it's the exact same flower, but looks totally different. So this is the open version, and you can just literally like fold it back up, and now it's more closed. It's just, felt is fun. All right, so we're gonna get our back leaf. Hey guys, we're almost done. Did you see how easy this was? We're almost done. We're gonna take our back leaf petal and our wire, and then that's it. So needle nose pliers. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna move this so I can focus good. Get all of our glue spiders out of the way. Okay, so you're gonna grab the very tip of your wire, right here. And you're gonna roll like 180 degrees. See how my hand just was like, whoop. You're gonna make a little bump, I don't know, a little hole, a little circle. You're gonna grab your circle and you're gonna keep rolling it, and you're basically like making a little flat spiral snail kind of a thing. So it's a little bit of a bigger flower, so I like to spiral it a few times because this is what your flower is sitting on. So we want security. Okay, there we go. So you're gonna grab the spiral now, turn it on top of the wire. So it kind of looks like that. You're gonna sandwich it and get rid of that little gap, and then you're gonna turn it. So now it looks like a little table. Perfect to put your flower on. All right, you're gonna take your leaf and your awl. And this is what I use to poke a hole in this so your wire can go through. If you don't have an awl, you literally can use the wire and just, if you see how I'm like turning it and turning it, this does take a little bit of effort, but it does work if you don't have something. Just make it, and see, already went through. So felt is made up of just a bunch of fibers grouped tightly together. So it's naturally very porous and has a lot of natural holes for things. So you don't need an awl, you can use the wire, you can cut a little hole with your scissors, you can make it work. So we're gonna pull that down, so it kind of looks like this. And then we're gonna get our glue again and do throw some glue on here. So this is kind of just holding it all together and giving it a little bit more structural support. I'm gonna push that on there real good and make sure everything is dried and held together. So this covers all of that mess, all of those petals on the bottom. It secures them on top of each other so they're not falling apart. And then, I mean, you can see how I'm manipulating this. I'm being a little rough with it, and it's staying together too. So this is the part you can refluff it and design it however you want. At this point, you can add leaves. You can just do a bouquet of these. You can throw this in another bouquet, but it's all done, guys. Tell me what you think. And if you have any questions on me building this, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will make sure to answer all of those questions. Also, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you do not miss any future videos and tutorials on walking through flowers. And below is links to my shop and links to my Amazon shop that has all of the tools that I used today. Then you can buy them off that, and it kind of helps my shop a little bit and helps make more videos. Also, at my shop link, you can get more felt and felt balls as well. Thank you so much for joining me today as we make the Ranunculus, and I can't wait to make more flowers with you.